Que pasa, YouTube? What's up, all you awesome people out there? How's it going? Have for y'all today a Wi-Fi battle in the UU tier. If you guys have seen the past 2 days of uploads or so, y'all have noticed that I've been doing live battles and decided, hey, let's go back to the roots where the channel originally started, and let's do a post-com for today's upload. So of course, if y'all do enjoy, make sure to show off your support, hit that thumbs up button down below, comment down below as well, let me know what's up, how's it going. Hopefully y'all are having a good Saturday today. And this match was against Astradon off of my Discord. That is where, again, I will mostly be taking my challenges, and this was a pretty cool UU team. I'll leave a link to it down in the description. You guys can go check it out. It's a very fun team with a pretty cool Moltres set. Normally Moltres, I think, is like defensive or Z move. This set actually has wide lens, which is really awesome because I hate missing hurricanes. I'm sure y'all hate missing hurricanes and fire blasts as well. So at least with the wide lens, we can kind of hopefully make that a little less potent. So going into this game, the biggest threats I saw on my opponent's team were easily going to be the Kyurem, because along with the Tentacruel, if it is T-Spikes and she is able to get rid of my Empoleon, then that's going to be really annoying. Even if Kyurem is Specs, it's still going to be very difficult to deal with, and potentially a setup Necrozma is also very scary. So turn one, I decided to go immediately for my Z move here, because if I'm able to get rid of this Tentacruel, I in turn get rid of her only fire resist on her team, which means my Moltres can just come in and I click Fire Blast for free on everything that I can outspeed or that I can guarantee live a hit from, and that's what my main objective was, to go straight for the Z move here. Plus, it's not very often somebody just goes straight for a Z move turn one, so even though yes, she did have the Togekiss in the back, I still felt pretty comfortable in just going straight for my Z move to obliterate the Tentacruel, or I guess in this case, devastate it. Get it? No, okay, I'll stop talking now. So, in comes Necrozma. Again, like, setup Necrozma is very scary. So I figured that if I bring in my Empoleon here, I at least have the Toxic, and along with Toxic and Protect, even if this Necrozma ends up beating my Empoleon 1v1, I will still be able to put it very low. But as you can see, she turns out to be a more defensive, supportive set with Rocks and Knockoff, and actually getting rid of the leftovers on my Empoleon is a little bit bad, because this kind of makes Protect useless on the set, and this is where I really wish I had Roar. Maybe even like Flash Cannon would have been way better in this scenario instead of Protect, as she ends up missing the Heat Wave there. That does kind of suck, and it does play a little bit of a role later in the battle, as it still does a decent chunk of damage to my Empoleon. And I'm figuring that at this point in the battle, she's probably going to try and weaken my Empoleon as much as possible and maybe try to get up Stealth Rocks. So I decided to go for the Protect here, expecting her to maybe try to go for another Heat Wave, and this was a horrendous play on my part, because in comes Kyurem, and because again she did have the Tentacruel with the potential T-Spikes, I thought that maybe this could be substitute, but on the off chance that it was still a potential choice set, I stay in and I go for the Scald. Unfortunately, she does turn out to be a substitute set, and this is very terrifying because as you see there, my Scald does not break her sub. My next Scald will, however, though, she will still be able to get out of this exchange with a substitute up, and that's really bad. I need to find some way to hopefully prevent this thing from getting up a free sub, or if I can get a safe switch into my Diancie in the back. Even if she does have the earth power as she's revealed here, it's not going to be doing entirely too much damage to my Diancie, just because Diancie does have a very high special defense and physical defense stat. So I do break the Scald there with my, I do break the sub there with my second Scald, as I will then be able to bring in Diancie here, expecting her to try to go for the substitute again, but she makes a very good play, goes straight for the earth power to want to get rid of my Empoleon, and she catches my incoming Diancie. Now this is not entirely too bad, but I would have much rather liked if Diancie came in without having to take damage, and I guess in that sense I might have just left in my Empoleon, so she could have knocked me out, but then again it would have ended up behind a substitute, the Kyurem would have, and that could have been a little bit bad as well. So I decided just to Moonblast here, because with Diamond Storm being 95% accurate, I really do not want to afford missing if she does try to substitute again, and that's literally the only reason I Moonblasted here, was because I didn't want to miss. I guess I still do a good chunk of damage to the Togekiss, but if I had Diamond Storm there, I would have done even more, and that would have been great. But judging from the damage and after checking the calc, it turns out that not only is she an offensive Togekiss, but that is a choice Specs Togekiss, and that is doing entirely way too much damage to my Moltres, even though, yeah, I don't have any bulk investment. That's still quote-unquote not very effective, and it did about 1/3 of my health. Either way, though, I can just click Fire Blast here and basically claim a KO. She has no switch-ins to it, as she sacks off the Necrozma, and because she did sack off Necrozma, that means she most likely does not have Stealth Rocks or anything else on her team. So as in comes the Krookodile, I don't want to take a Stone Edge, so I switch out here and she catches me on that by going for the Pursuit. I am able to live, which is really nice because I can still bring in my Moltres on that Togekiss because I will be able to outspeed it and potentially get another KO. And again, she most likely does not have any other variant of Stealth Rockers on her team. So this turn, I expect her to bring in the Togekiss because that's her best switch in to the Kommo-o here, and I Ice Punch as she actually catches me on that play and brings in Cobalion, expecting me to not go for my fighting stab, and that was a really good play on her part because I am going to be forced to switch out here. The good thing though is that I do have a very healthy, physically defensive Slowbro in the back, which is actually Mega Slowbro, but I don't want to Mega Evolve just yet because I still want to be able to switch into hits and regen back some of my HP, and I only want to Mega Evolve when I try to start setting up. So I switch in here as she goes for the Z Iron Head, which would have been able to knock out my Kommo-o, but because I am a Slowbro, I do eat the hit very easily, and I really thought I lost absolutely nothing and just going for the Scald here. I guess alternatively, I could have potentially doubled out back into my Moltres, but on the off chance that she maybe did bring in Kyurem, I decided just to go straight for the Skull because maybe I could get a potential burn. As I sack off my Empoleon here, this will allow me to get a free switch back into my Moltres, and we're back in the same scenario that we were in earlier where I just clicked Fire Blast. And if I'm not mistaken, because of the wide lens, it boosts the 85 accuracy of Fire Blast up to 93 because I think it's like a 10% boost, and I think that's how it works. I don't know, feel free to correct me in the comment section below. So I knock out the Togekiss, in comes the Krookodile. Because she has this Cobalion and Kyurem left, my Moltres does not outspeed any of those three mons, so I decided just to sack it off here. Plus, I could have potentially got the Flame Body burn there, but even though I don't, it's not the worst thing ever because regardless of if this Krookodile is choiced or not, my Kommo-o guarantee lives one non-crit, and I can just kind of claim another kill here with close combat because her last remaining mons are all weak to fighting type moves, and this is stab, so whatever comes in is getting blown all the way back. And luckily for me, she decides to sack off the Kyurem, which is really nice because Kyurem could have come in on my Kommo-o, forced me out and got up a sub, and that could have been a little bit problematic if she was like a sub Toxic set as opposed to sub Roost, because then at that point things would have got a lot more difficult. But down goes the Kyurem, in comes the Krookodile. Because my defense did drop, I will unfortunately be KO'd by an Earthquake, so I figured that my best play to do right now is to sack off my Diancie because I am not going to be able to beat the Cobalion 1v1. If anything, Cobalion just uses this Diancie for the most part as setup fodder. Even though I do have the Earth Power, it's not going to be doing entirely too much damage to that Cobalion. So by sacking off the Diancie and resetting the defense on my Kommo-o, I can bring it back in here. Again, I live any one hit that is not a crit, and I will be able to just click close combat once again as she goes for the Earthquake here, and luckily does not crit me. And in return, I will be able to just drop her with the close combat here. At this point, her last mon, I do believe, is going to be the Cobalion in the back, which I guess if I do allow it to set up could turn out to be a little bit of a problem, because if it gets up to like +6 with Swords Dance, it could in theory flinch down my Slowbro, and then at that point I don't have anything that's able to knock it out from full HP, because I don't think an Earthquake from Krookodile quite finishes it off. And plus, if she has Rock Polish, she can just Rock Polish to double her speed, and then she outspeeds my Scarf Krookodile. So I stay in with Kommo-o, just go straight for the close combat as she finishes me off. I will be able to then get a free switch into my Slowbro here. I am not going to mess around with this thing. I don't want to Calm Mind. I'm not going to Mega just yet because I don't think I need to. So I'm going to go straight for the Scald. I could have also potentially got a burn from that Scald. Even if I didn't, I'm still going to be doing a really good chunk of damage to the Cobalion as she then goes for the close combat here. And because she did lower her SPDEF, this next Scald will be strong enough to finish her off. And that is going to be the 2-0 victory in my favor. So very, very fun and awesome battle to Astradon. I was actually really surprised by how effective Kommo-o was in this battle, because I honestly thought that Moltres was going to be the one that was getting all the KOs, and because I dropped Tentacruel 2 turns into the battle, I was like, oh yeah, I just bring in Moltres and I just click Fire Blast and everything dies. But once Togekiss was weakened, once Tentacruel went down, and once Necrozma went down, I was like, oh hey, Kommo-o just kind of clicks close combat for the most part, and that was pretty cool because Kommo-o is one of those mons I've never really seen too often in the UU tier as of lately. Either way though, it was a very fun battle. If you guys did enjoy, you know what to do. Show off support, hit that thumbs up button down below, guys. Thank you for anybody who does and anybody who does comment. Thank you for watching. I will see you all most likely tomorrow on Sunday with another battle. So with that being said, love you all. Later, everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6-foot hacks. Yeah. 6-foot hacks. Yeah. 6-foot hacks.